Hi, friends of Solar Body Alchemy. Here we are again. It's a Sunday, and today we are going to talk about jealousy. Now, why jealousy? Why during the month of Cancer? Why are we here? So, Cancer is actually linked to the fourth, sorry, not Cancer. Jealousy is actually linked to the fourth chakra, which is about love. And actually, it's the wonderful shades of green. And jealousy, as we know, the color of jealousy is actually green. So why does jealousy happen, and why did we feel the need to talk about this feeling in Solar Body Alchemy? Well, if there is an excess of, or actually it can go either way, it can either be an excess or too little of trust in the other person, jealousy can appear. Now, what do I speak about excess or not enough trust with our partner? Because, for example, if we come from a family where there wasn't enough love within the family, not enough trust, it's very easy to cling onto the other person and think that the other person actually has to fulfill all of our emotional needs. And it goes also the other way. So, for example, if we are coming from a family where two people were actually codependent, so really too much into each other and not in a healthy way, again, jealousy can occur, because if the other person wants to break free, well, you're not letting it. Okay, now we're talking about excess here, but what I just want you to do for this week, actually think about it and think if you are jealous about your partner or perhaps about something else in your life. However, this is our tarot reading for the week. So I am going this week to link the tarot reading for every star sign to jealousy. And let's see what the cards say about jealousy for each and every one of the star sign. So I'll keep it short and sweet. And as you know, I am going to use this deck here because it is my favorite deck. And let's see what the cards have to say. So let's start. First of all, let's see if I have picked all the cards. And I didn't, but now I do. So let's start. So I'll shuffle the deck first to clear it of all the energy that he had before. And let's see what the cards have to say about jealousy and about our astro signs. So as we know, we are still in the month of Cancer. So today is the, let me check, the 12th of July. So for another week at least, we will be actually in the Cancer. So first of all, thank you very much to everyone that has joined me, and let's see now what happens with the card. Okay, so let's start with our friends of Aries and what the cards have to say about Aries and jealousy. So, friends of Aries, you have picked the 5 of Cups reversed. Now, let's start with Cups. As we know, Cups is about emotions, okay? Cups are about our emotional health. 5 of Cups reversed. Usually 5 of Cups means living, not crying over spilled milk. As you can see from this guy, there are 2 cups standing and 3 cups that are all over the place. However, this card came up reversed like this, which really makes me think, dear friends of Aries, perhaps you are thinking too much about the situation that it's in the past. Now, I'm not entirely sure what this situation is. It might be about a person, it might be about a job, but hey, you know what? It's perfectly understandable that you perhaps might be thinking about someone. It's perfectly understandable that you might be thinking about a position. But remember, let the past stay in the past and move on. And in regards to jealousy, sometimes we harbor resentment and we harbor jealousy, not toward the person in itself, but actually towards something about that person that made us feel, how that person made us feel. So just look inside of you and see if you can actually find that feeling inside of you, within you, and I am sure that you can leave jealousy stay where it belongs, in the past. So let's move on. Let's go to our friends of Taurus and let's see what the cards have to say about them. Friends of Taurus, here we are, and we have picked another card, another cup card, which is the Three of Cups. Now, it's interesting, if you remember last week, it happened exactly the same. So we picked card out of a suit, the same is happening right now. So the Three of Cups, it actually means a relationship of some sort. Usually it means a group of friends, okay? And again, it is about cups, which means mental well-being, emotional well-being more than mental well-being. Now, how do we link that to a group of people? Well, actually, what happens when you work or when you are in a group of people, it is actually very, very easy to be jealous of someone within a group of people. And usually that's what ruins the group of people. So, dear friends of Taurus, think if in the work that you are, the group of friends that you are, perhaps you are jealous of someone. And as I said earlier on for our friends of the Aries, think if you are jealous, not of that person in particular, but perhaps of some quality that that person possesses and that you would like to have, okay? And perhaps investigate a little bit with yourself. Why don't you do more of what that person does? What is really blocking you? And if you go through this process, you will see that actually perhaps there is really nothing that you really need to be jealous about, okay? So let's move on and let's go to our friends of Gemini and let's see what our friends Gemini react in in relationship to jealousy, or what is the tarot advice for Gemini. Gemini, you picked the Five of Wands. Now, after all of the water that we have picked with the other two cards, there is a Five of Wands. Now, Wands, as we have said many times, but I'll repeat myself, Wands is a card of fire. Wands actually is the suit of fire, is the suit of energy, is the suit of passion, okay? And I'm not surprised that the Five of Wands happened for Gemini, because the Gemini, true, is an earth sign, okay? But since it's an earth sign, actually they can really be very much involved in their ideas. And when they are stuck in their ideas, sometimes it is not so easy for them to change their own minds. Okay, now the Five is also a card of battle. Okay, so you're battling. You are in an argument perhaps with someone, or you are in a fight, even a fight, not just an argument, actually a real fight with someone. And as we know, jealousy, especially if we are jealous with a partner, it is very, very, very easy to move from an argument to a fight. So what the advice of the card is, according to my interpretation, is actually step back one moment and use that wonderful mind of yours, because Gemini are so intelligent, so smart, and so able to communicate. Use that wonderful mind of yours, that wonderful abilities that you have to communicate effectively. Perhaps you are going into an argument because you're not reassuring your partner enough, okay? Or perhaps there has been a misunderstanding of some sort, hence where the jealousy is coming in. Ditto, if you are working with a group of people, okay? So that can work either way. Now, I know that you're Gemini, so you're a master of communication. Well, this week, really, really try to focus on that to avoid jealousies, okay, in any field of your life. Okay, let's move on and let's go to the birthday girls and the birthday boys of the month, which are our friends of Cancer. And let's see what the cards have to say in relation to Cancer and jealousy. So, let's see, let's see. Sorry. 7 of Cups, and we are back into the realm of emotions and the 7 of Cups. Now, dear friends of Cancers, this card really makes me think that sometimes everything is not as it seems, okay? So perhaps you find yourself in a situation where, I don't know, perhaps in a relationship you are jealous about something or about someone because you think of something, but actually that something is not really what you think. So you really need this time not to base your actions on what your eyes see, but rather investigate a little bit. Okay, so perhaps you're jealous about an ex, and you're jealous because your boyfriend or your girlfriend spent a lot of time with that ex. Okay, but perhaps it's not what you think. It's not that they love each other, or at least it's not that they love each other romantically. Perhaps they are overcoming something, or perhaps they are working through something else, or perhaps their relationship has evolved. Or you're jealous of a colleague about something, but you don't know what's going on in that life. So you don't know if that person has other issues that you are not aware of, as you know, as everyone does actually. Sometimes we all wear masks. So dear friends of Cancer, this week, just really be focused not only on what your eyes see, but try really to step back one moment and investigate a little bit further if you can, or if you can't, just don't go full on. Don't act immediately on your emotions, but try for one moment to keep your emotions in check and see how things evolve. Okay, so let's move on and let's go to our friends of Leo. Okay, and let's see what the friends of Leo are. And I see a few people here with me. Thank you very much. I am going to read the cards for every star sign. So if your star sign hasn't come up yet, wait, okay? But let's see now for our friends of Leo and what the card have to say in relation to Leo and jealousy. Leo, you have picked the Queen of Cups reversed. Now, it is so interesting how we are talking about jealousy and all cups cards, so all cards related to emotions. Probably because jealousy, it is quite a deep emotions, and it is something that we really need to work on. So Queen of Cups reversed for our friends of Leo. Now, Queen of Cups, first of all, Cups card, emotions, but the Queen of Cups, usually it is a woman, traditionally speaking, that really has mastered her art of governing emotions. This one, it comes up like this. In this case, we have her like this. So, first of all, this makes me think that perhaps when it comes to jealousy, jealousy might be one of your buttons. Okay, so probably because it touches your possessive nature. So perhaps you tend to consider your partners a little bit like your possessions, not because they are objects, but really because they touch your more protective nature, and you need to protect them in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so hence why the Queen is coming reversed, because she is not controlling these possessive aspects of her nature. However, what happens when you act like this is actually you don't trust your partners, or you don't trust the group you work with, or you don't trust your group of friends. You tend to believe that perhaps all of them are there just to betray you or just to hurt you in some way. Okay, now I'm not belittling you, okay? Perhaps you have been very hurt in the past and these things happened to you. But in this particular case, what this card wants to tell you is this week, in relation to jealousy, dear friends of Leo, just keep your emotions again in check, just a tiny little bit. Just remember that you are a queen, so you can actually master your emotions. Okay, now, if I have male friends listening to me and they are Leo and they might think, oh, come on, this is a queen, I am a guy. Gentlemen, listen to me. This is traditionally speaking that this card is for women, but the same applies to men. Because don't forget actually that we all have a male and a female part. Okay, so perhaps this card is just there. It came up to remind you to act on your more female part of your soul. And when that happens, when that card emerges for men, when it's picked up like this, reversed for men, it actually helps them, remind them that you have quite a deep emotional part and you really need to work on. And I mean, jealousy, it is a very democratic feeling. Both men and women experience it, okay? So gentlemen and ladies, just for Leo, just this week, remember that you are a queen deep inside. Perhaps try not to be as jealous or possessive as you always are, but try to trust the group of people that surround you. It can be your friends, it can be your partner, it can be your group of people that you work with, but remember to trust them. So let's move on and let's go to our other star sign, which is Virgo. Oh, Agatha, you are a Leo. Yes. So you already had your tarot reading. Let me know what you think. Leave comments behind. Sorry, not behind. Under. Engage. So let's go to our friends of Virgo. And let's see. Virgo, you picked the Chariot. And how does the Chariot relate to jealousy? Now, Virgo, you are a wonderful sign. You are an earth sign. You are very precise. You love things done in order. And the Chariot, actually, I think that suits you very well. Because you see, the Chariot is a card of will. Okay, so if we look actually at this card here, we can see that there are two sphinxes, one black, one white, and usually they are our conscious and subconscious mind, at least in the traditional sense. And there are no reins. So the charioteer actually drives them just by willpower. Now, this is a little bit like what Virgo does. Okay, so Virgo likes to have things under control. Jealousy kind of screws this over because perhaps you have trusted a person, perhaps you have wanted to build something with a person, something has happened, your trust has been, let's not say shattered, I don't like to go by extreme, but certainly your trust has been shaken and you don't know what to do. Okay, the thing is, dear friends of Virgo, you can control things up to a point. Your willpower works up to a point. After that you reach that point, you kind of need to trust again and to let the universe, God, spirit, whatever you like to call it, takes you from where you need to be. Okay? So perhaps the invitation that these cards want to say, the advice that this card wants to say for you, dear friends of Virgo, is, again, just trust. And just remember, even though you like to take things, to have things under control, sometimes this is not enough. Sometimes if you can try to control as much as you can, but there is always an element that it's not controllable. And it's okay, especially in relationships, okay? And when jealousy comes in, so for example, if you are jealous about your partner, or if you are jealous again about a colleague, And you are jealous because, I don't know, perhaps you see that they have things more in control, or it seems to you that they have things more in control that you do. As I said earlier on, it's just the image that they project, and you don't know exactly what's going on in their lives. So again, for you this week, just keep this nugget of information in mind. Just consider that perhaps what you see, it is not exactly what it is really, okay? And also, I would like you to remember the wonderful quality of this card, which is willpower, okay? Now, willpower, actually, it is quite a useful quality to have, especially in, in life, in anything that you really want to do, okay? And how can we relate willpower to jealousy, okay? Well, sometimes the best thing that we can do is start by saying, you know what, I'm trusting. I am making a commitment of not being jealous. You know what? Let's try for a week, friends of Virgo, and see how it goes. And let us know next week, okay? Moving on, the dear friends of Libra, I haven't forgotten you, okay? Let's see what the cards have to say. Libra, the Empress. What a wonderful card. So, the Empress, it is this wonderful card. There is a wonderful woman. Some say actually that this is Venus, because there is the Venus sign just here. Sorry, I'm trying to find my way in the camera, so it's here. And there is this lady, so she is in this wonderful setting. She's Mother Earth, she's Venus, she's full of love, blah, blah, which is wonderful, okay? So how do we relate this to jealousy for our friends of Libra? Okay, let's start first. So Libra, first of all, you are the ones that always have to keep the balance. Okay, so in a group, you are always the peacemaker. Perhaps if you are in a couple, you are assuming always the role of peacemaker. Okay, now, the first thing that I see when I see this card, and this is for my female friends of Libra that are following me right now, okay? She is an Empress. So remember, dear ladies, you are Empresses in your own kind. Now, having said that, connect this card to your own personal power, okay? Because remember, actually, jealousy is when we are not feeling sure and safe in ourselves. So first of all, when you're feeling jealous of someone or of something, check in with yourself why you're feeling jealous. Okay, so for example, if you're in a relationship and you're feeling jealous of another woman coming into this relationship, look into yourself. Okay, see, I'm not making I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm simply saying check with yourself. Check what's going on with yourself, because sometimes it seems something and it is not what it appears. Now, I've said that over and over again during these readings. Sometimes people might get sick of hearing that, but I really believe in this, okay? And I also believe that if women are actually connected to the real own power, perhaps they will feel less jealous of other women. Like, for example, if you're jealous because a woman looks better than you, okay, just really connect to yourself, okay, and see, perhaps you are not taking that 5 minutes that it's your time to do things that you want to do. Perhaps you are not taking that 5 minutes that you need to, I don't know, face mask, to read your book, to do the things that make you feel good and therefore make you look good. Okay, now this is for my female friends of the Libra. What about the gentlemen of the Libra, and how can we again link this card to jealousy and to the male part of my audience? So again, gentlemen, just remember, as I said earlier on, when I say a card is the Empress, doesn't necessarily mean that this link to only the female audience. It links also to you. And if you, for example, are in a relationship and you feel belittled, like by your partner, can be your spouse or anyone, even in a business relationship, okay, it can mean something else. It can really mean that perhaps you are not taking your time to take care of yourself, okay? And this is what makes you jealous, because that's what makes you feel unsure, okay? And it's the same piece of advice that I have given to my female friends. So the same applies to you. Moving on. So let's go to our friends of Scorpio. What will the tarot say about them? I don't know. Let's see. So, my friends of Scorpio. Scorpio. Jealousy, 2 of Wands. So, Wands. It's so interesting because we have picked water, fire, few major arcana, but mostly water and fire. So jealousy actually really steers these emotions. What about Scorpio? Scorpio, you are a sign. We know that how passionate you are. We also know that Scorpio, it is very much connected to sexual energy. The 2 of Wands, it is a very interesting card because this guy here actually is looking at, first of all, he keeps the whole world in one hand, and he is looking at the horizon, but he's also just dipping literally his toes within the water. Now, what did I say before about the chakra that we are working on, which is the 4th chakra? It's the heart chakra. And this card actually makes me think that sometimes we feel jealous of someone because they had the guts to go and try. And this guy is literally standing on the door, like he's looking at the horizon. 2 actually has a number. Now, I'm not an expert numerologist, but I just know this piece of information. 2 has a number. It's literally the beginning of something. So the real beginning is the ace, which is the moment you've got the spark. But then from the spark, when you start to put things into motion, it comes the 2, okay? So this 2, it really makes me think, I've got an idea. I'm kind of working on the idea, but do I have really the guts to go and practice what I preach? And when in our lives comes those people that really have the guts to try, and it can be in anything, okay? It can be people that perhaps you have known and they have been singles for years, or they've been upping on and off relationships that all of a sudden try to commit. Or it can be some colleagues that left the work from one day to the next without a plan. They just had an idea, but they tried. Okay, and perhaps there is a part of you that actually feels quite jealous of them. Okay, so what I really invite you to do, dear friends of Scorpio, this week is really to connect. And if you see a twinge of jealousy towards these people, just try to understand what's really making you jealous. Because I actually think that sometimes jealousy can be, if seen from a healthy perspective, can be a sort of ring bell for us to really understand what we want and that we see in other people and we don't have, but perhaps we want that. So that's why we need to work with jealousy instead of fighting it and instead of pushing it off or pushing it out of our lives. So guys, friends of Scorpio, males and females this time, because this is quite a unisex card, just really try this week to connect to this feeling of jealousy, especially if someone is trying something new. Okay, moving on, let's go to our friends of Sagittarius. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, I said all the signs. So I am at the Sagittarius. So let's see what the friends of Sagittarius are being advised by the cards. Friends of Sagittarius, you picked the Tower. Woo! Now, the Tower with the Devil, actually, they have such a bad name in the tarot, and actually, I don't agree with that. Okay? So first of all, I actually think in jealousy, Sagittarius and the Tower. How can we work with these three elements? Now, first of all, Sagittarius is a sign of fire. Okay, they're passionate, they are the adventurer, they go, and they are always on the move. Jealousy, it's a little bit not really in their courts, because basically they are quite free thinkers. Okay, so perhaps they don't really settle, or at least, I mean, some of you that are Sagittarius are settled, happily settled in traditional relationships, but it's actually quite common to find uncommon relationships with the star sign of Sagittarius, because they are quite free thinkers, so perhaps they might experiment with open couples or whatnot. Now, what happens with the Tower? The Tower it is a card that destroys the foundations. Okay? And jealousy, as I said earlier on, you remember in regards to another sign when I said that your confidence has been not shattered but shaken. Now, in this case, perhaps something has happened to my friends of Sagittarius that have really shattered their world. Now, my guts tell me that it's been these months of being closed in the house, and perhaps my friends of Sagittarius have really suffered from it, because the Sagittarius has to be on the go all the time. And these are really shattered their confidence. Okay, so I don't know, perhaps they have things planned, perhaps they had travels planned, I wouldn't be surprised, or perhaps they had, I don't know, activities, lots of activities planned, especially because we are in the summer, so they love being outside, they love to travel, and blah blah. And these things are completely shattered their plans. Particularly, what really triggers my eyes in this case, if we think about jealousy in a relationship, there is a couple here that is being throwing off this tower. So there is a lightning from the sky, the tower has been destroyed, and the couple is going out and is being completely thrown off. Now, friends of Sagittarius, I have been saying during this reading today that actually what is interesting about jealousy, it can be a ring bell to really understand what we want. And this card might be the perfect opportunity for you to really reassess your life. So if you're jealous about something, if you're jealous about someone, or if you have experienced jealousy and your jealousy has actually been founded. So, for example, you were jealous of your partner and your ex and his ex, and they get back together. Okay, and that has completely, ruined your confidence in partnerships, and especially in romantic partnerships. But you know what? Sometimes we need those kind of events in our life, even if they are heartbreaking, even if they are painful, because we need to destroy everything that was false in our life to build our new life on much stronger foundations. Okay, so perhaps in your case, if jealousy doesn't really apply to controlling someone or not trusting someone, perhaps just to try and see jealousy, if you're jealous of someone and it's unfounded, if you're jealous of something, as maybe it is a ring bell for me to destroy what I have now, to really assess what I have now and see if what you have really resonates with you or doesn't. Okay, and if it doesn't, it's best for you to take off your mask, find who you really are, and move on in your life. And don't forget that the wonderful part of this card is, some say that this wonderful golden, almost it's like a golden rain that it's on the top of the tower. It's like the grace that surrounds us in any time, in any way, in any shape. So if you really need to take drastic changes in your life as a result of jealousy, you're not completely alone, okay? Or if you also need to, another perspective, it could be if you need to take yourself away from someone that is jealous and you really need to upheaval your life because your partner is very jealous and you are kind of, you've had enough and you really want to start over, you're not alone. You can try and, to rebuild and to really discover who you really are. Okay, moving on. So we only have few signs left, and the next is my favorite because it's Capricorn and I am a Capricorn. I know I'm biased, sorry, but anyway, let's see what the cards have for Capricorns this week. For us Capricorns, we picked the Four of Swords. Now, Swords as a suit is about air, okay? And air is about intelligence, it's about communication. In this case, it is a 4. Now, 4 as a number, it's a card of building new foundations. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like the 4 tables, the 4 legs of a table. Okay, it's exactly the same concept. The Four of Swords, it is also a card. If we look at this card, some say it is a tomb, okay? And what really makes me think is a time for us to stop, to pause, and to reassess. Now, what did I say often during this reading about jealousy? Especially when we are in the heat of the moment, what might happen is that we go and attack. So we don't stop to think if something is actually what it seems. This card remembers to all my friends of Capricorns, me included, that if something happens, so if we are jealous of something, if you are jealous of someone, pause for one moment. Really pause. Take a step back. Try to look at the situation differently and try really to see if what you see is what it is. It might not be, but you need that moment to stop and assess and then move on and then act. But in particular, this card, it's actually a card of, okay, hang on and use your intelligence. Use also your intelligence and your ability to communicate, because remember, one of the problems of jealousy, it's this miscommunication that it might be within a couple, if we're talking about jealousy in a relationship, but also with colleagues. It might be a problem of communication. Okay, so just keep those things in mind, friends of Capricorns. And moving on, let's move to our friends of Aquarius. So we only have actually 2 signs left. Let's see. Let's see what Aquarius, the cards say for Aquarius. And it is a wonderful another Cups card, which is the Nine of Cups. Now, friends of Aquarius, the Nine of Cups, it's a wonderful card. Usually it's actually called the happiness card. And it is, we see a guy, so he is clearly satisfied and fulfilled, okay? And he's surrounded by his 9 cups, like if they were trophies. Now, how can we possibly relate this card to jealousy? Okay, well, have you ever heard of the saying that the grass of the neighbors is always greener? This is exactly it. So you might be someone who has it all, the perfect job, the perfect partner, perfect family, the perfect happiness, but you're still jealous of your neighbor because they have something that you don't have. So, dear friends of Aquarius, if you really are in this position, okay, so for example, if you are having a lovely day, but you complain because there isn't sun, it's not sunny, or it's not as much sunny as you would like, or if you have a lovely car, but hang on, my neighbor has a bigger car than I have, or if you have a lovely job, but you are jealous because you're, I don't know, brother, sister, uncle, cousin, they have a better job, you know what? Just for one moment, stop and reassess what you have. Not only reassess, not only make a list, but really try to find the time to enjoy what you have. Because you know what? You don't know, you don't see, but they might be jealous of what you have. However, it's kind of, you're taking away from your joy if you don't really take care of the things that you have, if you don't use the things that you have, or if you work just for the sake of work, but not for fulfillment. So this week, if you're feeling jealous of your neighbor, or of your parent, of your relatives, or your friends, or your colleagues, or your boss, just step back one moment. Think about what you have and really make a point to consciously enjoy them. Okay? And to finish, last but not least, our Pisces friends. Let's see what the cards have to say about them. And for my Pisces friends, Pisces, 3 of Wands for you. She's very interesting. It's another fire card. And we had, it was so interesting because we either had water, fire, and a few, as I said before, a few major arcana, but majority were water and fire. So, interestingly enough, so our friends Pisces are a water sign. Okay, actually they are the last of the water signs, and they really swim deep in this water, deep sea of emotions. And we have picked a fire card. Now the 3 as a number. So you remember we picked the 2 of Wands a few signs ago, and as I said, the 2 was like really opening the door, dipping the toes, but still not being there. The 3, indeed, they have started the process. Okay, so they have dipped their toes, but they've also taken the first step. Now, what happens, dear friends of Pisces? How do we link this card with jealousy? What happens when you start something and you don't see the results that you want or desire straight away? That you become jealous of the people that actually have made it. But you don't see how much time, how much effort, and how much sacrifices those people have made to be in the position they are. So, dear friends of Pisces, men and women, if you have just started something, and perhaps, you know, during this lockdown, you have really used all of your resources and you have started a new enterprise, a new project, and you're not seeing the results right away. And you're kind of a bit deflated and you start thinking, oh, but I have done this for weeks now and nothing has happened. You know what? It's okay. You're still in the early stages. Now, I'm not saying that all my Pisces friends are doing this, okay? But it is something that can happen. And you know what? The same happens even in relationships. Because perhaps you have started a new relationships and you feel like that things are not moving fast enough or not evolving fast enough. And you're jealous because perhaps you see other couples and you think, oh, but they have got together 2 weeks after us and they are already making projects for spending a weekend away somewhere. That's their story. It's not your story. That's their relationship. It's not your relationship. Okay? It's like comparing apples and oranges. Completely different things. Okay, so dear friends of Pisces, this week, just try to really be in yourself. And by the way, give yourself a pat in the back. Before being jealous, give yourself a huge pat in the back because you have started. You have taken the first step and you'll be there. It will take some time or not, but you are moving. So well done you. Okay, so dear friends of Solar Body Alchemy, this week I have tried to give you an overview. Sorry, I'm just counting the cards to see if I haven't skipped any sign, and I haven't. So, dear friends of Solar Body Alchemy, this week I have given you an overview of jealousy, the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. This week in Solar Body Alchemy, we actually are going to work on the heart chakra. So I hope to see you soon very again. You will you will see plenty of me and plenty of Kate in these channels, either here in Facebook or in YouTube. So keep an eye on our website because we usually publish everything there. We also have a meetup group. So anyway, we will let you know where you can find us. It's been a joy and a privilege being with you here today. I really wish you all the best. And for the moment, thank you very much for spending this hour with me. Bye for now.